So over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you an overview of some of the things that we've learned about doing influencer marketing over the last 3 years. So coming up, I'm going to cover our story very quickly and what we do, and a few examples, which I think you'll find interesting and quite diverse. And then I'm going to cover our influencer strategy and influencer system. So our story. I started off in this industry in 1998, running an adventure club in Silicon Valley. I then worked for Hypermatch in 2000, and then Friendster, which was a precursor to MySpace, which was a precursor to Facebook back in Silicon Valley. And then in 2004, I started Online Personals Watch. Most of Online Personals Watch, I think, if you're not subscribed, please do. You can get free daily and weekly updates on the dating industry news, and we've been faithfully summarizing the news now for coming on 22 years, no less. And Lorraine has been doing this for 19 years. 19 years. She's been editor. I started the consultancy in 2005, January 2005, and the LTR conference was started in 2020 during COVID. So what do? We do intelligence through Online Personals Watch. We do community via LTR.us, and we do growth via Cortland Brooks. LTR this is the 48th one, of course, and let me know if you've got any ideas for speakers. We do this every month, and always looking for interesting people in the dating industry and matchmaking and the social connection industry. So in short, we help dating and social businesses grow, thrive, and exit. And we focus on strategy and helping our clients with business development and marketing and PR/influencers. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Here are some integration examples. This is one particular influencer we've had some success with. One of our first client was Christian Filipina, and this is an interesting example. This is Paul in the Philippines and Zoom in Thailand, and basically two channels that got together for a collab. And they talked a lot about Christian Filipina by design. This was actually, normally we did try and have some kind of script and guidelines, but with this it was very much unscripted, which I do recommend in general. The whole point of this medium is to allow influencers to be who they really are, understand their audience, and lead you to them. So you can see Christian Filipina is featured here. Another example is with BuyCupid, which is a very interesting niche, of course. Camp Thruple was featured on this channel, of course. What have we got? The Damona Hoffman as well, and the Drew Barrymore show. BuyCupid have a little book out called How to Thrive in a Thruple. Really interesting. And then here's an example of their integration. This is actually on Insta. And one of the things we try and do is we tend to focus on YouTube. We like YouTube because it allows us to have a longer integration. And these are all videos, by the way. I've just taken screen captures. And then we emanate out from there. So we target YouTube, we look for the integration to be done there. We want to have 30 seconds, maybe as much as 60 seconds for the integration. And then we will take Insta, we'll take TikTok, we'll take whatever else they've got. Here is Filipina Visa, which is an offshoot of Christian Filipina. And this is by Paul in the Philippines. And this particular couple had a rotten time getting a visa process. So they tell a story of how it was just so very painful. And then, of course, Filipina Visa is the answer. This is Gina 2 from Positive Singles, an integration a number of integrations we've done with Gina. Positive Singles, one of the things we've got here is she talks about her experience. She has absolutely been through the ringers, I must say, the health ringers. She's got an amazing story, very compelling, wonderful lady, wonderful character. And so she ran Positive Singles. One of the things we always try and do is have a QR code. That's best practices. And also you want to allow them to be able to you want to be able to set up your service so that when new users come in, they can call out Ghent, ideally as a unique link, but at least as a call out code. Here's another example. This is Christian Filipina, integrations that we did with Province Smile. And another thing that we try and do is what I call the arc of discovery. So we'll have an influencer discover our particular dating app, and it might be for the first time. So they can't really advocate it. They've got to discover it first. This particular video was really all about Christian Filipina, and a key question they asked is, will it work for me? And they unpacked that and recommended in, but it was through the arc of discovery, and actually interviewed some staff from Christian Filipina to try and open up some more understanding about Christian Filipino values, etc., and background. And that was a nicely done video. I like these kinds of videos because a lot of the times, what happens when somebody types in your brand review on YouTube, you need to make sure that you've got an answer for that, because people do that quite a lot. And you want to make sure that you've got a video that does truly represent you accurately and favorably that comes up in that particular lookup. Why on earth would you be interested in influencer marketing? The reason I wanted to discuss this today is because it's very much the antithesis, if you like, of doing Google pay-per-click and Facebook marketing. Even we send so much money to Google and Facebook and Apple and Android. It would be nice if we could be a little bit more direct with influencers. And now we're all able to do this. So at the end of the day, trust beats targeting in dating. Dating is definitely high trust, high risk decision for people. They do spend time researching it, and they do look on YouTube and Google. So users are not buying shoes. They're buying hope, safety, and social validation. And a creator's endorsement transfers trust in a way that no pay-per-click headline or Facebook carousel ever can. This is what we're missing: advocacy. That's what they do. YouTube is a long-form persuasion engine, in short. I love YouTube because often the videos can be 10 to 30 minutes of narrative and nuance with somebody that you like. And you'll typically subscribe, you'll see people, and I'm very drawn to YouTube, I must say. I find it far more compelling than even Netflix or watching a movie, because I feel connected with the people. In some cases, I am connected with the people that I'm seeing. Yeah, that matters, because dating apps are not self-explanatory products. Creators can explain who the app is and isn't for, and how it fits into their real life, and perhaps even go along the journey with them, meaning they discover the app as well at the same time. So creators, and by the way, we try not to do one-offs. One-offs to me is pointless. If you spent the time to build a relationship, build some understanding, sell in an influencer on who you are and what you stand for, just to do a one-off, to do proper advocacy-led integration takes time. A lot of that time, that's quite expensive when you're dealing with smaller influencers. And I like going with smaller influencers because then you want to follow their growth. You want to have ideally monthly integrations and follow that arc of discovery. And then you're really embedding with them and you're getting true advocacy, which is what we're driving for. We're trying to do things a little different. So creators normalize app usage, which is critical for adoption. Dating still carries social friction, right? There's still some stigma. And I'm a little worried about this. I think the stigma might be coming back to some extent. This may be increasing. When a creator casually integrates an app into their life, it destigmatizes usage. Facebook ads sell, creators normalize. YouTube content has compounding value, I think, because it does people will look up your brand, and if you've got a good integration that actually mentions the name of the app, perhaps at least in the description, you've got a good chance of coming up. A Google ad dies when the budget stops. A YouTube video lives on. It ranks in search. It gets suggested for months or possibly even years, and becomes possibly evergreen and real social proof. You can even use it in UGC. It's owned media. It's not as disposable, and we also can use it in our socials and on web and possibly even in app. Fifth reason I love influencer marketing and why I recommend it is creators tell stories, ads interrupt them. So it goes hand in hand. It's very complementary with advertising. Dating apps live or die by stories at singles dinner tables. Ultimately, when singles get together and compare notes, they'll often talk about what's working for them. And you get to insert in that kind of narrative somewhat by using influencers. Creators are professional storytellers. Ads are professional interrupters. 6, influencers drive brand, not just performance. Dating apps that survive build brands, not just funnels. We're all good at funnels, should be anyway at this stage. YouTube creators shape perception and anchor positioning. They do something we can't easily, at least. Pay-per-click captures existing demand in the moment, but influencers create demand, especially in crowded categories like dating. And finally, cultural relevance is super key, I think, for us. Dating app usage is very culture-driven. It's not efficiency-driven so much. Dating apps win when users feel this app is for people like me. It's also socially current and cool, and not desperate or corporate. You've got their best interests at heart. How to communicate that? I think influencers definitely help us if we treat them right and treat the medium right and understand the medium right. Creators live inside culture And most importantly, the reason I love doing influencer marketing, we've got a full-time influencer marketing manager now for over 3 years who had 4 years experience before coming to us, is it's just good for the industry if we do it right. So influencer strategy, basically, some key points here. I believe it's a potent source of advocacy and faith building. We do have attribution challenges, meaning it's tough to track. So there are some best practices for that, and there's some tricks to it. One of the things that I'm really keen to do is get a sense of the portion of your unattributed traffic is due to the influencer marketing that you do. So I think the trick to this is to level off all your other channels, keep it level for a while, then do influencer marketing with a couple of influencers and see what you're seeing for the attributable traffic and the unattributed growth in unattributed traffic. And you can do some metrics to figure out what the truth of it is. And once you know that truth of it ratio, then you can get a better sense of how you should proceed, what kind of spends you can really justify for your influencer marketing medium. Micro influencers on YouTube are really the way to go. You start off with micro and hopefully they grow over time. You build a portfolio, you try and do monthly contracts with them with opt-outs. So they'll say, I want X. You basically off them half, but you say, I'm going to do it for ever, as long as it works. If it doesn't work, we're gone. And you've got the right to be gone as well. But why would we finish something that's working? So that's the kind of contracts we like to do. And we also radiate out to other channels. We'll do Insta, we'll do TikTok, we'll do whatever else they're doing as well. But we do it on a hybrid deal basis. So the way hybrid deals work is we have ideally a flat per month fee that we pay them. And then if they happen to track quite a lot of sales, then we'll pay them on the overage. We'll pay them more. We'll give them a bonus essentially for doing particularly well. So the influencer strategy. What is the point of this? In fact, actually, that is a repeat of the last page. Oops. So here's the influencer system. The influencer system website will list eventually. We've got influencersystem.com. We're going to put this scorecard on for you. But I want to get your feedback, get your critique, and improve it further. Hopefully, you'll have some insight for me after this. I think we're about 90% there, but I'd like to get it a bit further. It will be changing, but so it's a scorecard, and we use the scorecard for each integration that we do. 100% means you've done everything necessary for your advocate influencer integration to be successful. Here is what we have for you. I'm going to shut up for a second, let you read it. So you see we've got a gradation system, A through E. The first thing we have here as best practice is you've got a link on screen in the video that is less than 12 characters long, meaning if you've got a particularly long brand, use a shortener, use something a bit shorter. People will type this in, so you can't go too long. You can go on Marcaria, MARCARIA.com, and look up your brand, a kind of a shortened term of your brand it doesn't have to be a .com, and find something that works, and then you use that for your distinct URL. So it should be your brand / name of influencer, short as possible, under 12 characters, and then people will actually type it in. So you get a little lift from in the attribution by having that distinct URL. Ideally, you use a unique landing page with the influencer saying something nice about your brand. That will give you some conversion lift. So both of those things are worth 15 points each. You also should have an ask, point 3. An ask is, please click the link, it'll help the channel. It's not that strong, but it does help. People do want to help the channel. They do want to help their favorite influencer. And so that's worth 10 points. You could go one step beyond that and have a clear and compelling offer. That could be a discount. Don't generally like to do discounts, but that's what a lot of companies do. Look at NordVPN, for example. They give heavy discounts. You could do a trial. You could do an exclusive perk, or perhaps an informational, just a simple book. There's no marginal cost for you. Number 5, use a QR code. More and more influencer integrations are showing QR codes now. It only makes sense. It's so easy to do. It will improve attribution. Think about it. Someone's looking at a YouTube screen on their wall, as I do, or even on their laptop. Are they going to type in? No, they'll just go on their phones. I'll just check this out. They'll have a QR code. They'll just have a quick checkout of your brand and maybe sign up from there if you make it super crazy simple. So have that QR code. We also show a clear link or code at the top of the description. This is super essential. This is like everybody, of course you do this. right at the top of the description for the YouTube video, and also an Insta and whatever else you're running. You want to make sure you've got that distinct link so people can click on it. It'll give you a bit of lift. It's worthwhile doing. It's so easy. You shouldn't not do this. The integration is really key to be part of a relevant story, right? NordVPN is very interruptive. Whenever I say NordVPN is a huge advertiser, as are a lot of these kind of VPNs, and they're hugely interruptive and relatively boring. I always fast forward through them. They don't really do much in the way of tie-ins. How can you tie in a VPN? I mean, there's a lot of travel bloggers that will do it, travel vloggers, but just make sure that you've got some kind of tie-in with the story. If you can have them talking about relationships in that particular video that you're in, you'll see a better ROI on that, because somebody who is interested in their influencer and their relationships is more likely going to be influenced in that particular context. Make sure the creator's personality is intact. It's very tempting to throw scripts over the fence to influencers, and this, I think, is offensive to them. It's offensive because it doesn't pay heed to the incredible work that they do to build a community of people that love them, that understand them, that follow their story from week to week. So in some ways, you end up insulting them by sending them a very fixed script. You give them some guidelines, you say some stuff that you'd really like them to mention, then you make sure you've got the option for doing a redo. If they really tank it or don't make your brand look good, then you should have the ability to pull it. But try and let them be who they really are. Keep their personalities intact. Point number 9, we try and avoid the word sponsor. You do have to mention that the YouTuber or the influencer should mention if it is a paid integration. And I like the word partner. I think that does the job. I think there's some guidelines on this depending on where you are in the world. But when I hear sponsor, I fast forward. I think a lot of people do, or they switch off. So by saying partner, that shows a deeper level of involvement. And ultimately, we are looking for partnerships. We don't want to do one-off sponsorships. We want to do partnerships. We want them to follow our story. We want to spend time with them, educating them, and making them genuine advocates, and actually identifying, ideally, people from within their audiences that have clicked through with attribution to their particular channel that have success stories. That would be the ultimate, to actually bubble up a success story that's come from a particular influencer, and then have them interview that success story. Imagine that. We've not managed to do that yet, but that's something I'd really like to do. Number 10, really the creator shared something personal. We should probably give this more points. We'll probably rejig this in time, but ultimately it's important to help them keep their personality intact and be part of a relevant story. But if they're really sharing something very personal, that will definitely impact how people feel about your brand. About you're getting that emotional run off them. So that is the influencer system. I would love to get your feedback on this. Even more, I'd love to get your critique of it. What have we missed? What are the gaping holes here? I'm going to put this, once I've got your feedback, in a couple of weeks, live as influencersystem.com. So you can all use this, and let's evolve this together. It's rather important. Just to close out, Cortland Brooks, we help you grow, thrive, and exit. Been doing this since January 2005, and yeah, we'd love to work with you. So let me know if you'd like to learn more. Thank you very much.